Minecraft, then you definitely have jumped at the very least once. Jumping is one of the core essential parts of the game, and it's difficult to imagine what Minecraft would be like if you didn't have the ability to jump. When one jumps, there are two components to take into account: jump length and jump height. The more discussed feature, as you probably guessed, is jump length. One topic that instantly comes to mind is Dream's 5-block jump video and that whole discussion. Additionally, parkour is usually more based on the horizontal distance you travel when jumping. But how high can you jump in Minecraft? It's a unique question, one that many people will never ask, and mostly because it seems super trivial. But is it? Have you ever actually taken the time to consider how high can you jump in Minecraft? And that is the question we will be answering in today's video. There are many different heights we can jump on in-game. Jumping on 2 snow layers can raise your height by 0.125 blocks. You can jump on a sideways end rod, 0.625 blocks. An enchanting table, 0.75 blocks. An end portal frame, 0.8125 blocks. A path block, 0.9375. Also, side note, while researching for this video, I actually discovered the largest possible amount of blocks that can make a staircase 1 block in height. While I previously thought the record was 7 using snow layers, I discovered this arrangement of 15 blocks, with each block in the series being exactly 1 pixel higher than the one before it. There is one exception, however, because as far as I'm aware, there is actually no block that is 5 pixels tall, or 0.3125 blocks. Back to jumping, however, this is far from the limit. I think one of the more popular opinions, and one that will very often be brought up by newer players, is that a player in Minecraft can jump up to 1 block. Most blocks in Minecraft have a height of 1 meter off the ground, and can be jumped on top of without a problem, but this isn't the limit either. Far from it, actually. Put a carpet on that block, and suddenly, the new height becomes 1.0625. Replace that carpet with 2 snow layers, and a 1.125 vertical block jump becomes possible as well. A block with a trapdoor in it is 1.1875. Also, for convenience sake, I will now be referring to blocks as 1B or 2B. So for example, a block with 2 snow layers on it, I would call a 1B2 snow layer. Keeping that in mind, a 1B3 snow layer or a 1B campfire both seem to take us to the limit, 1.25 blocks. This is also the limit listed in the Minecraft Wikipedia. So is that all? No, not even close. I'm now going to take a second to refine my definition of a jump. My definition of a vertical jump is as follows. A jump must be started by pressing or holding the space key, and must be easy to perform nearly anywhere with very, very minimal setup. This eliminates jumping into ladders, minecarts, beds, or using TNT cannons, as well as other things that require some setup. Additionally, at no point during the jump can you be lower than your initial Y position. Thus, purling after jumping off a cliff is not allowed either. Ender pearls are generally not allowed because you will hit the ground before the pearl lands in most cases. The jump height will be calculated by subtracting the initial Y position from the final standing position, so not peak height, but just the landing height. So now the question becomes, how much vertical elevation can a player get by pressing their jump key without too much external modification? I do all this defining because the methods of jumping will become more and more unorthodox and very, very strange. A lot of you may say, that isn't a jump, in which case I respect your opinion, but for the purposes of this video, I will count the methods as jumping. But that being said, let's break the limits of Minecraft jumping. Lighting yourself on fire with a flint and steel allows you to jump around 1.5 blocks. Jump Boost 1 sets your new jump height to 1.75, recreatable with a 1B7 snow layers. But why stop at Jump Boost 1? Jump Boost 2 allows you to jump 2.5 blocks into the air. Adding the previously mentioned flint and steel into the mix, with fire and Jump 2, you can go 3.5 blocks up. That alone is pretty high, but we can go much, much higher. Now we will get into animal modifications. Horses are one of the many rideable mobs in Minecraft, but they are unique as they are the only ones that can jump into the air. Horses have different jump power levels that determine the height of their jump, with the average being 0.7 and the maximum being 1. The average horse can jump around 2.875 blocks into the air, which is pretty high, but it's still not as high as Fire plus Jump 2. Actually, the actual jump height is 2.892 blocks, but I don't know how to replicate that with Minecraft, so this is going to be close enough. That being said, a 0.8 power horse can jump around 3.625 blocks. But why stop there? A 0.9 power horse can jump an astounding 4.4375. But a super-powered horse, a Power 1, can jump an entire 5.25 blocks into the air. But what if we gave that horse Jump Boost 1? There's a strange bug in Minecraft that you have to relog whenever you give Jump Boost to a horse or it won't register, but giving Jump Boost 1 to the already extremely rare Power 1 horse, that raises its jump height to 6.125 blocks. Very high. But again, why stop at Jump 1 when we can give Jump 2? The most powerful horse spawnable in survival Minecraft can jump with Jump Boost 2 around 7.125 blocks. That alone is an insanely high jump. And this is where the definition from before comes in. If horse jump boost wasn't weird enough, I suggest you brace yourselves. You may not consider the following methods jumps, but we're just having fun at this point, seeing how high we can go. Chorus fruits. Harvested in the merciless end dimension. Chorus plants don't seem very useful at first. While they're a necessity on 2B2T, in survival Minecraft, most players discard the chorus fruit unless they want to craft end rods. However, while scrolling through the Minecraft inventory searching for jump modifiers, I had the idea of chorus leaping, trying to eat chorus fruit to teleport the moment you reach the peak of your jump. Now, after doing some research, I discovered that the maximum teleporting distance of a chorus fruit was 8 blocks. So theoretically, if we consume one at the very peak of our jump, we can go 9.25 blocks into the air. My personal best is 8, just because of the timing, but theoretically, 9 and 9.25 should be possible. Try it out for yourself if you want. To better test and analyze results, I created a void world where the only possible option for the chorus fruit was a platform high up in the air. This would make it easier to test, but even then I didn't always get teleported, so it is kind of frustrating. Still, I recommend you check it out. With Jump Boost 2, the theoretical limit jumps, pun intended, to 10.5, with my personal best being 9. And again, let's involve a horse. Taking a basic Power 1 horse without Jump Boost, the theoretical limit becomes around 13.3 blocks. My personal record is around 11. It's noticeably lower because the timing for the horse one is much more complex. First, you have to begin eating the fruit. Then, get a max jump height by timing your space and jump correctly. And finally, dismount at the peak of the horse jump, right as the fruit eats. Even after all that, there's a chance that I won't even teleport you, just back to the platform where you started. This was very frustrating to test out. But, eventually, I got the hang of it. With Jump Boost 2, on a Power 1 horse, while chorus leaping, theoretical height becomes 15.125, and my personal best was just a tad bit lower, at 14 blocks. This is a bit better, and if you want to test it out for yourself, my last piece of advice is to use slow fall. Slow falling helps ensure that even if you dismount a bit early, you don't lose height, making getting good heights a bit easier. So 15 blocks is a pretty high jump to be sure, but there are other gadgets that will help us get even higher. At this point, I don't think many people would consider the following jumps, but it's fun to explore the limits of vertical height, so let's do that. Rain, one of my least favorite game mechanics. Personally, I think that rain is very annoying, and I usually always turn off the weather cycle just to avoid it. However, with the introduction of Riptide and the update Aquatic, rain is a necessity for getting vertical height limit. By timing your jump just before the release of the Trident, you can add momentum to the Riptide, making it even stronger than normal. Even with Riptide 1, I was able to go 17.125 blocks into the air, already higher than the highest chorus leap possible. This value nearly doubles at 30.125 with Riptide 2, and with Riptide 3, the two values are added together to get my personal best of 47.125 blocks. Adding Jump Boost 2, it increases by 4, becoming 51.125. That already is a massive leap. but it isn't the limit either. I'd like to briefly point out that using Riptide 3, you can actually go infinitely into the air if it continues to rain, because you can repeatedly throw the trident. That being said, that's a lame option, so I'll be ignoring it. Now you may be thinking, what about a horse? But actually, when you dismount the horse to jump, you lose all your momentum, making the Riptide worse, because the moment you jump off the horse, you begin to fall downwards, and that downwards momentum combats the Riptide, making your overall propelling slower and weaker. Back to the jumping, however, the final item I'll introduce is the Elytra. We all know that using a firework, you can soar into the sky with an Elytra on your back, but a feature that maybe a bit less of you'll be familiar with is flight duration. Depending on how much gunpowder you add to the firework rocket while crafting, the flight duration can go from 1 to 3. With the flight duration 1 rocket, I was able to get a 46 block jump. But of course, that's just flight duration 1. With flight duration 2, I was enabled to go a whopping 66 blocks into the air. That's already higher than a Riptide strategy. And finally, with flight duration 3, I was able to soar 78 blocks into the air. That is mental. Again, one could use infinite fireworks to boost themselves high into the sky, but that's no fun, is it? Finally, what if you combined Riptide 3 with a flight duration 3 rocket? The result? 104 blocks into the air. Personally, this is just a record of my own, and higher jumps may be possible. However, to my knowledge at the current time, this is how high you can jump in Minecraft. It may be possible to throw a pearl to get higher, but I'll leave that up to you all. Again, a lot of these methods won't be considered jumps by many players, but we're only here for the fun, and this is less of a scientific video as we get closer to the end. That being said, that is all I have for today. I do hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, then please do consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.